Hey guys, how are you? Jamie here from Jamie Milne Training, and we have got episode 10 of JMTtv, which is really cool. It's our first one for 2018, and we have come out of the blocks with a cracker. We've got the Murphys here, Andrea and Michael Murphy, and super pumped. It's these guys here. And it's also 4:30 in the morning. That is commitment. That is commitment. We've all peeled ourselves out of bed to bring you some awesome vibes and a good bit of chit chat for what's today? Wednesday? Tuesday morning. Cool. How are you?
Very good.
Yeah, pretty good.
We're just over here sitting in amongst the mangoes and the lovely organic apples and that type of stuff. They reckon, I read a quote the other day in a book that I was reading, and it says, and basically the way you live your life is the message that you give to the world. And in knowing these guys in the short period that I have, it really resonated with me about Mike and Andrea. And they've got a pretty incredible story, and it's one that I think would give a lot of inspiration and certainly motivation and maybe even some ideas and tools for other people in their lives to help them along. So could you tell us a little bit about your journey, Andrew, and sort of what's led you to this point today?
Okay, I basically was into sport when I was a teenager, swimmer, squash player, netball player, that type of stuff. Any sport I could get my hands on. Played A-grade squash for about 30 years and then just gave it away. And then piled on all the weight, got to about 95, 96 kilos, which was where I never was. Took up a 12-week challenge at the gym I was at and lost probably 20 kilos in that 12 weeks. And then continued on that journey because I enjoyed it so much and wondered why I'd given away the fitness. And since then I've been able to maintain that, and that was 8-9 years ago. So
how cool is that? It's knowing, again, the little bit that I've known Andrea, like her level of athleticism is really, really good, and it's quite incredible. And it's funny now when you connect the dots and hear about your past and stuff, you can tell there was something going on with your athleticism and stuff. That's awesome, man. That is so cool. That is so cool. And Mike, what about you, brother?
Yeah, so I've pretty much the same sort of background as Andrea. Life when I was younger was all about sport, moving around. Used to do a lot of hill climbing and stuff when I was a kid, particularly on my own, because we lived out in the bush. Basically, there was a period I went through in the railway where I was working for a gang that basically was working away, so it was a migrating gang, and most of my time was spent in a car and or behind a piece of equipment. And virtually I ate a lot of rubbish and a lot of food. Basically, without really realising it, my weight progressed, and by the end of that period, which is about a probably 3 or 4 year period, I'd blown it to about 170 odd kilos. I sort of maintained that weight for a little while. Then it led back to where Andrea was doing the 12-week challenge. I'd actually been in the gym prior to that, and she came home one night and said, did she want to do it? I said, yeah. I said, you know, love you the way you are, but if that's what you want to do, let's do it. So initially I started eating with her like that just to support her, and a bit of weight started coming off, and it wasn't until we actually went to the celebration dinner and I was looking at a lot of photos of people's transformations that maybe went, I can do this. So same deal. The following 12 months leading on to that, I actually got myself a personal trainer, and I basically, in that 12-month period, I lost virtually probably about 60 kilos of that in that 12 months.
Man, that is so cool. Just seen a photo the other day of Mike on Facey. It was kind of like a before and after, and I'd seen sort of before and afters of Andrea and Mike, and it's pretty damn incredible, man. Like it's so awesome. And I agree with Mike. It doesn't happen like really fast. You know, when you put weight on and get unhealthy, it doesn't like, you know, you don't wake up on next Wednesday morning and go, Jesus, fuck, what happened here? Like it's such a slow progression, and a couple of times you put your pants on and you're like, oh, jeez, he's a bit tight. What's going on here? And then before you know it, you've blown out. But so with that being said, like I mean, there's lots of different ways we get to the point that we are. I do believe it is 100% a journey. There's no, you start at point A and the destination is point B and you're really happy and that's it, you're looking good and cool, you're really stoked to be where you are. It is definitely an undulating journey, but what's a couple of quick tips that you'd give people that may be out there that are got a bit of pudding, that sort of got the same thing happening, carrying a bit of weight, and they want to try and change their life a little bit, want to turn things around? What would you guys suggest from your journey?
Well, I went cold turkey on everything. I went home that day, the day I decided to do the 12-week challenge, and just threw all rubbish out, and it just went from there. And persist with it. It's one of those things.
So you, mate. Get up!
Out.
Fuck off!
Yeah.
Like a Maltesers. Get out!
Well, we used to have a lolly jar that sat near the TV. And even my son, the first time he came home, where's the lolly jar? No, it's gone, sorry. So it was basically just replaced everything, and yeah, you do fall off the rails every now and again, but I think that's just part of the journey. You just have to learn to get back on it. Yeah, it's easy to fall off it, but then it's just as easy to get back on the horse.
Oh, jeez, that's good. Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, good luck topping that, Mike.
Look, for me, it's fairly simple. I mean, and you've discussed a lot of this, Jamie, as part of your sessions and stuff that you do with mindsets and goal setting and all the rest of it. But that's basically that. In a nutshell, that's what it is. It's about asking yourself the why. Why do you want to do something? Setting yourself your goals, making them achievable. I really got stuck into the book The Winner's Bible, which you mentioned as part of your mindset sessions and stuff as well, and did up my storyboard and continued to use that for many, many years. I don't use it as much anymore because I believe we are pretty goal driven. We set our goals fairly early in the year and know where we want to go. I think the other big key factor is being supported by your partner. I think there's a lot of people out there who try to go on the journey and struggle because their partner don't join with them and follow the same lifestyle that the person that's trying to lose the weight is trying to live. I've been lucky because Andrea and I, we've basically for the last 10 years have virtually done most things together. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, so we've been a really good support network for each other.
That's such good advice, man, and that's something to consider too, guys. If you are in a relationship, be it de facto, married, whatever, or even have a really good friend or friends, it's a great opportunity to take a leaf out of the Murphy's book and go on that journey together. Having that accountability, feedback, nurturing, support, love, however you want to look at it, it does definitely make it a bit easier. Unless you're just like a hell-bent, goal-driven, lone wolf motherfucker, most people could probably do with a little bit of love and support and guidance, and it does really, really help. Talk to me about, because I know even personally my own journey, I'm really good at self-sabotaging. The length, the degree and the time of the self-sabotage doesn't last as long as it used to, but it's the whole, build this awesome house of cards, it looks good, and then boof, knock it down and start building it up again. So like with you guys, when you hit those little speed bumps, and have you experienced self-sabotage? Do you do things to throw rocks in your path? Do you build a house of cards similar to mine?
I suppose you do, but mine's more the eating one. I think, oh yeah, I can work that off in the gym. Yeah, that sort of thing, and I suppose I self-sabotage myself that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's all about, and it's probably good because Michael will say to me, what the hell are you doing that for? It's going to make you sick.
Yeah, yeah.
And sure enough, you have a bad day and you think, oh God, I feel so sick. Headaches come in and you think, yeah. So it's just basically get back on, and it's all about getting back up and starting all over again, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, I don't want to sound gender-bending based, but I'm a bit like a woman in relation to the moment I start to put a bit of weight on. I'm sort of become all freaky and
high heels and
get the makeup on.
Yeah, just like fishnet style. A little petticoat. Yeah, I do the same.
Yeah, but no, I'm very conscious about it. Coming from where I've been, and you know, when I do start to put that bit of weight on, I'm very conscious and start thinking about, okay, what have I been eating that hasn't been right for me? I know that bread's not a really good source of food for me because I do put on weight very quick eating that. Dairy, all those sort of things that...
Don't agree, eh?
Yeah, don't agree with a lot of people. I don't get sick by them. I actually love bread. I could eat bread till the cows come home, but I do know that it's not good for me.
Yep.
Particularly for putting weight on. So we don't have bread in the house as a general rule, and 9 times out of 10 we generally a lot of times we only eat bread when we're out. Yeah. And
so it's a bit of a treat type thing.
Yeah. So I try to avoid that as much as I can.
That's awesome. That's really cool. That's really cool. What about like things like if you, I know you're both very busy professional people, got families, like overwhelm and stuff like that. Like when you get overwhelmed and you feel like just everything's going on, and you could be having like a really bad day in terms of your energy, your state, your mood. You're just like not feeling the greatest. Overwhelm sets in. You know, do you guys experience levels of that, and how would you deal with that? Like,
I don't deal with it.
You don't?
I'm a shocker.
Oh no!
I will carry it for days.
Oh, you
So
I'm the opposite.
And he'll tell me to get over it. Probably worst thing you can say, but anyway.
Is this when you put the heels on?
Yeah. When I put the heels on, say, "Come on, girl, we got to get this sorted."
Yeah.
But
come on, girlfriend, let's sort this shit out.
But no, seriously, you know, I think everyone gets overwhelmed in society today because it is a fairly busy world we live in. But I think reflection's important. I think taking that time to stop, reflect on what's going on in your life and what's important and what's not. And also trying to get the rest where you can. You know, there is nights, we joked around the other night there that what are we doing in each other's bed? You know, we very rarely see each other through the week, other than sometimes like when we train together in the morning. But generally I guess the routine is I get up at 4 o'clock or 3:45. We go and come here to train at JMT most mornings during the week. I go to work. I usually don't get home till about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. A lot of times Andrea's doing the late shift and she's not usually home till 9 o'clock at night, so we don't cross paths unless one of us wake each other up in bed. And it's usually the weekend that we get to spend that quality time again together.
Get to reconnect. Yeah, it's tough, man. Busy lives, busy people. Jeez, it's just hectic, isn't it? It doesn't slow down in a great hurry. What do you think? What gets you pumped in life? Like what really sets you on fire? What lights you up?
Apart from my grandkids.
That keeps you fit.
Yeah, I've got to stay fit.
Yeah.
I would say just having a goal to work towards. Once I set that goal, the mindset starts to take over and
momentum kicks in.
Yeah, I really look forward to what that goal is and what we're going to do. Whether it's just me doing something with Michael's support or vice versa, or if we're doing it together.
It's a huge one, man. I mean, once momentum kicks in, everything it takes a little bit to get going, doesn't it? Once you when you're trying to figure out what it is that's going to light you up, or what to give your attention to, and then it really does snowball. Then once momentum picks up, it does.
And I tell people just this is the mental state I'm going to have for the next 6 months. So deal with it.
Chuck a seatbelt on.
Go for the ride.
So like at work, people come into work all the time and say, okay, what have you got up your sleeve this year? And they always know I've got something on the go, so that sort of keeps me going as well, because I know that they're going to ask in 6 months' time, how was it? How did you go? So
that's cool. Boss?
Yeah, for me, I think it's, obviously Andrea and the grandkids, as you mentioned earlier, we're very passionate about, obviously we love each other and love spending time with our grandkids and our...
He's doing well, isn't he? He's doing smooth. Oh, nothing. The only thing that gets me pumped is Andrea and my wife. That's it. Fuck everything else. But
I guess, aside from our personal things like that, I love the community environments. I love training here with you guys at JMT.
We love you,
and that's not a plug, by the way.
Yeah.
But I really love the community. I think the thing about communities is you're surrounded by like-minded people. We talk about Team Murphy today. I can talk about Team Fisher, Team Punter, Team Pugsley's, Team Collies. You know, there's a lot of partners here that are very inspirational themselves, and to be part of that like-minded environment is that's what pumps me up.
Yeah,
seeing their adventures and experiences drives us. Little nutface here's decided she wants to have a crack at the red run and started to put that
Thanks,
forward
Neil.
in my process.
Blame Neil Colley.
Yeah, Neil Colley. So you know
the
what I mean.
succulent silver fox.
So seeing other people's achievements is also something that really pumps me up to want to go and do other things as well.
Couldn't agree more, bro. That's awesome. So closing questions. What's a book that's influenced your life? That's really had a profound impact on your life? Hopefully you guys read.
I do. I actually read...
Mills and Bert.
Yeah. I read a lot of biographies and autobiographies, but I suppose the two recent ones that I've read were the Turia Pit.
Okay.
What she went through.
Gotcha.
The one who got burnt.
Yeah.
In the
Ultra marathon.
Yeah.
She was here recently too, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's an amazing person where she was, where she came from, to where she is now, and just had a baby recently. So
that's so cool.
her story was really, you know, coming back from the brink. Just don't let it keep you down. She could have just gone done nothing, but now she's done some Ironman triathlons and things like that, and it's just amazing when you read her book what she went through.
We'll pop a link at the bottom of this post, guys, so if you want to have a little bit more research.
And if anybody wants to, I think I've got both of them at home still, so...
Oh, how good is that?
Anybody wants to read them?
Oh, good luck topping that one again, Mike. We need to get you going. Yeah.
Yeah, my personally life-changing books for me was The Witness Bible.
Yeah.
Reading that and developing the mindset, and then being able to cope with your, like you said, your overwhelming periods, and staying motivated was a key factor. And I also really enjoyed the book by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits. So that's more about leadership and effective tools for leadership. It's probably more professional driven, but it also can apply to your lifestyle as well. So cool. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining me nice and bright and early.
All good.
All good?
Let's go and train.
Now we're straight to the gym. Guys, have a great day. Thank you for catching up with me and the Murphys, and we hope to see you around soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks,